Coach Brown was like, man, we're gonna go to JUCO route. And I'm like, he was like a father figure to me. I ain't, I, he's been at every level. He's played at Georgetown, he played a little bit in the NBA. So, when it came to college, that wasn't really huge in my family. So I was like, man, I just want to go somewhere where, I can get better and get a chance. You know what I mean? I want to play D1. I ain't think about D2 or nothing. I heard about St. Aug, which is how that comes about. I heard about St. Aug, and they was like, yeah, you can come down there, Division II, CIAA. And I was like, at the moment, I was like, my goal was Division I. You know what I mean? I was like, I know I've been mid-major, whatever. I knew what my capability was. So I ended up taking some visits to some JUCOs. I was like, Coach, what about prep? I wanted to go prep school too. He's like, nah, I don't think prep will be good for you. And again, I'm like, well, I believe him. I trust him. I think he knows what's best. So I ended up taking a visit to once I figured out it was JUCO, you know what I mean? And Coach McLeese, just to say that, at Howard that year, after my senior year, he was at my games and stuff like that. When Coach Thompson came to the games, he got fired. So that leeway was like, well, he's gone. You know what I mean? So I ended up taking a visit to this JUCO. Of course, I went to Montgomery, checked that out. And I was like, nah, I wasn't going there. That's what Tom ended up going. And I took a visit to Nuosho County in Kansas, and that was my first time ever flying. I didn't fly a plane, so I went to Nuosho County, and it was eye-opening experience. It was cornfields, nothing but we flew into Kansas City, and it was nothing but cornfields and things like that. I was like, what in the world? But the hoops was amazing. The hoops was amazing. They had at least 5 people going to Division I. And on my trip, it was a great experience. But us being from where we are from, it just was a culture shock. I just couldn't do it. Like, I was like, it was cornfields. Their club, they went to this like little, I don't know, little cafe, men's club, whatever. And they ain't really had clubs stuff like that. So I was like shell shocked. I was like, what? But the hoops, like I said, they had a guy who signed with Pittsburgh. It's called Nuosho County. They had Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, Wichita State before Wichita State blew up. Jacksonville, Wichita State, Pitt, and a few other D1 schools. And I was like, man, and they was letting me go. They was like, you gonna shoot the ball? We shoot threes. That's what we do. We push the ball. Hoops wise, that would have been perfect. But I was like, I don't know, man. So I talked to the coach there. The next week, the following week, I had got a call. When Coach Brown was like, man, San Jacinto, Texas, looking at you. And I was like, San Jacinto? I ain't really know too much about it then, like I said. But then everybody around the hoop circle was like, man, San Jac is
legendary.
I was like, really? So I kept, and then they ended up recruiting Carlos Jones, who's my childhood guy, over at Hayfield. And I was like, oh, shoot, this might be something. I'm looking at the little VHS tapes, and they was like, Steve Francis was there. I was like, what? And then, I was like, okay, let me see. And I was like, they were like, it's right outside Houston. I was like, ooh, Houston, Texas. I was like, all right. I was like, all right. So we took our visit, man, and it was amazing. We ended up working out at Rice University. I remember that. Me and Carlos went on our visit together. We ended up working out there. We saw the campus. We saw the city of Houston. We went to a playoff game. Man, the coach is so connected in Texas. We ended up going to the Houston Rockets Utah Jazz game when Charles Barkley and Pippen and them were there. So he gave us access. We had a hotel right there in downtown Houston, and me and Los were sold. Like when we were there, we were sold. We're like, yeah, we're gonna sign this paperwork. You know what I mean? We coming there. And I'll tell these kids now. You guys know Kobe. You guys know me being from Alexandria. Everybody. I was the man on my team and things like that. Man, when we got to JUCO, it was eye opening. You kids, I'm telling you, man. Man, they could go. We had people from everywhere, man. Like New Orleans. We had a lot of people from Louisiana, Texas, Florida. And then we had 3 DMV guys. Well, 4 DMV guys. That's when we started. It was myself, Carlos Jones, It was a kid from Spingarn named Will Smith, and we had a kid from Montgomery County. My man Chris Rowland. Chris Rowland. So we all were there. I had some DMV connections. I had some New Orleans guys. I got there, man, and they were going at me right away. It's like I said, it was this guard from New Orleans named David Williams. Man, we were going at it. And that's we didn't have what we have today. So when we see these guys, you might go on 80 tournaments, things like that, but it still wasn't the same. When we see these guys, like, man, that's when I knew there's hoopers all over this country. Hoopers all over. And you gotta put in the work, or you're gonna get chewed up.
Yeah.
You guys know. You guys athletes, when you go somewhere, man, you gotta be ready, man, and it'll break you. That's why some people don't make it 4 years in college. One of my guys from DC, he was there. That's my guy too. He just couldn't handle it. He was like, man, I gotta go. So he goes. This is how it is. I tell my kids, man, y'all, the kids I work with, I'm like, listen, man, somebody's gonna take your spot. You gotta work on your game always. I remember he left, and I'm like, oh shoot, the point guard spot might be mine. Next thing I know, we in the dorm room. This guy comes in, he wheels in his bag. Dude from New York City. I'm like what the? Like they not playing. They like right away. And that whole year, man, was the best comp I've ever played against.